All right, we hit the live button. Let's see if things come up. Looks at drop frames. See if things are looking good. Got to load in the browser. Fantastic. Let's get into it. All right, welcome back to another episode of GPT with me. Today's just a quick one, or at least probably might be two today. I just wanted to hop on and explore a small concept I am playing with around adding testing to the Python code that does the video transcription. So before I get too far in, I just want to talk about a few things. So I've done some mods of the transcription stuff. There was a need to use Google Drive links as well. Long story, my child's in school. The principal loves to send videos about things. No one that I know in my friend group has time to listen to them, so I'm kind of making this the first use case, the first getting feedback from people. Does it work in the wild? It's a nice, simple use case for a lot of what I have here. So to that end, I figured, hey, things are kind of growing, they're expanding, we've refactored into classes. Let's, think about kind of getting some tests on this. This is becoming a real thing. People might actually start using it in the wild. Even if it's just a handful of folks, it'd be really nice to get that feedback and understand. So to that end, there's two things I want to explore from a testing perspective. I might actually be in a position where Codium's good enough to help add some tests. It might not be. I don't know. I keep thinking about this kind of coding copilot concept I mentioned last stream, what that's going to look like. I'll probably call it Codex. A play on Codex, Latin term, and spelling for kind of the entity. I'm putting all this under code rex, which is code king, effectively in Latin. Rex being king and KODE being a fun way to spell code. So that kind of got me thinking along those lines. I realized that it's not possible to always just save a thread. And in the instance where Codium fails me, in the browser, I've got this neat little bash script here. Effectively, you give it a directory, an output file, and the extensions that you're looking for. I tried to make it a little clever, just ran into all the usual problems. And then it's going to basically just concatenate the path and the file contents in. So I can plug that into a ChatGPT session if need be. Getting that larger context window. I mean, the other realization I had is that the Codex stuff, maybe Copilot has this capability. I want to explore these a little bit more before I go write my own thing. It would be nice to be able to kind of screenshot for the visual stuff, being able to feed that back in and ask it to correct and move forward. So I've been playing a bit off camera this morning with doing some more coding. That's how I got the Google Drive stuff in, and it's really good just prompting it back and forth, very Perry type session. So whatever the secret release was that I'm reading about feels like it's taken a few steps further forward. It does also seem like they've kind of capped the regular GPT-4 limits down a bit, so might be time to get a better tool. I don't know. I'm not using it any more than I usually do, but I've seemed to be hitting the limits quicker, which are less transparent. I don't like the minis. Can't do inputs. Can't do a lot of things with that. I do want the full GPT-4 there. But anyway, I've got the script here. Maybe rather than foo, we'll call it text.h.txt. It's going to go through. It's going to scan. It's going to put the contents here. Happy days, right? Cool. So let's pop open a Codium session. Let's just say, given all the files in text harvest, help me write test in py test for them. Let's see what it does. It's giving me some really simple examples. Okay, and can you expand on them and give instructions on how to get going? So change it from the base model to GPT-4. Oh, here we go. This looks a little bit more like what I was expecting. Kind of an install, give me a project structure, a little bit more like the ChatGPT stuff, right? Navigating directory, running py test, expanded test. Okay, these look like they're using the real thing. Might be something I want to prompt it on. Okay, interesting. Are you using mocks or real objects? I don't want to have to download files for real. Got it. To avoid, make your test more efficient. Okay, so it's taking a bit of prompting to get here. It's working. We're looking good. All right. Okay. Doing its thing. Let's see what it's come up with. Oh, kind of. That's interesting. Truncated, start a new conversation, upcoding teams for longer context. Oh, that's an interesting hurdle I didn't expect. That's kind of annoying given the workflow that I have currently. I'm not super impressed with that, to say the least. But you know, it is what it is, and what can you do? Oh well. Just give me a minute. I need to write something down. I'm trying to kind of track salient points. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's rather interesting that Codium has a kind of a limited context window for its chat. It does seem to be its primary use case would be the kind of quick hit interactions, not so much kind of the longer paired programming type dialogues. I do need to compare other tooling, but it's pretty much between Codium and Copilot these days. So I'm going to try Copilot at some point here, have to. But that might be one of the features I want to bring into my Codex tool, right? Is that the longer chat history. I know getting that dialogue to look nice is going to be a bit of a pain. And then, you know, there's some more interesting ways of kind of implementing that chat with concept. Okay, can I say create the test files for me? Sure. Okay, so now it's just telling me how to do it. So that would be another thing to add in would be tool usage within Codex, right? Giving it a small file system tool that's kind of scoped to where its directory structure is, what's visible in the file explorer, and giving it the ability to kind of add, edit, delete files. Now, some of those steps you might want to have human intervention. Maybe the delete has to be confirmed. But you know, if you're doing small little improvements, we're kind of committing and using diffs to highlight along the way. Maybe there's a workflow there. But yeah, I'm definitely hitting this context bump here. So kind of transitioning over to here, I think one of the interesting ideas, as it always seems to be for me, is I start off with a really small script, a small idea, like in software, I find it really valuable to kind of just build that smallest proof of concept. Is there some value? Build that really tiny manual workflow that's maybe annoying, unoptimized, but there's some way of squeezing value out of it, and then use that as a flywheel to kind of build the bigger thing. It's effectively how this kind of Scribe AI project started. Was that we ran from a really small bit of script to do a really narrow set of things, and it's now growing into this app that maybe this week, maybe early next week, we'll get it to the point where it's deployed and running in the cloud. There's a few things that need to happen before we get there. Testing being the number one thing. All right, so we've hit some hurdles there with the Codium approach. I'm going to come over to here. I'm going to say, given this code, help me put py test on it using mocks and extended coverage. All right, we'll drop that in, see what happens. All right, so it's telling me how to set it up. It's pretty similar to what Codium was telling me. Okay, it's mocking out like all of these things. Mocking out a lot of things, probably things I should be mocking out, OS remove. It'll be interesting to kind of go through and just have a look-see to see what the actual tests are doing, if they're adding value or not. Test the audio download functionality. Fake file. All right, so I'm going to let it kind of spit this out. Running the test. Oh, it tells me how the different test errors, large language. Do the test actually test anything? I just see a bunch of mocks. Not really doing any heavy lifting, just kind of asking it. Means to isolate the test, however, it's important to balance mocking with actual assertions for Codex breakdown. Surely test the piece starts improving the test. Not interact with the actual service, but ensure the main function behaves correctly when the arguments are passed. All right, so I mean, the problem I'm facing here is effectively that a lot of the code is real life code. I'm doing a lot of like getting things other than kind of does it pick it up and does it flow through, take the parameters incorrectly. It's kind of hard to do too many things. Text can be actually text is being processed correctly. Yeah, I'm probably going to need more integration tests to make this work. But it would be nice to get some level of test coverage down. So I'm going to say, can you emit the full instructions and all test again? So I'm being lazy. I mean, I could ask it to kind of go through and refine things, but that's not really the case here, right? It's telling me make the struct directory, add these things, mock out all these services. Now, arguably, there's a lot of code here. There's a lot of things to test. The YouTube, the Google Drive, let's go to text harvester, right? That's the name of the app. Services, audio downloader. Yeah, there's a lot of like real life thingies here that are happening, they're going. Integration test approach. Okay, so I mean, it's giving me valid testing advice. Testing something I've spent a great deal of time doing. I've got my site tbuddy.com I built years ago that goes through. It's got a bunch of katas on testing. I never did finish kind of putting all the Python and C#. It's got a whole bunch of resources around T-cycle, green bar patterns, equivalence partitions and boundaries, characteristic group tests, all sorts of things that, building on the shoulders of others in the industry and kind of adding my own flavor of things along the way that are important to the body of knowledge for testing. Anyway, done the recap. We've done the Codium. Let's go mark that as done. Let's go mark that as done. Sad face. We're at the ChatGPT stage of things. So let's try adding some of these in. Let's drop that there. We'll make sure we've got all the right things here. Oh, there we go. I should probably pin the versions. I know, I'm being lazy. Okay, text directory, the root. So let's go new folder. Tests. Now, wouldn't it be nice if, like, the Codium agent could take those same set of instructions and just execute in scaffold things when it finds chunks like this? Now, I'm not sure how to parse the output and deal with that. And where does tool usage come in versus me trying to integrate? Like, those are some interesting bridges to cross here with the Codex concept, some of which may appear on camera, most of it probably won't. It's something I want to probably invest a little more than an hour a day into. Probably some nighttime coding there, at least to get going. Okay, so test. Let's go new file. Oh, it's that lovely test app.py. All right, test app. I'm just going to copy the code here because, trying to replicate the what happens if it just slaps everything down. Services proc, that's fine. Test video. Let's go make the next one. New file. I'll paste that in there. We'll copy that code. We'll paste that there. Okay. So it's testing that things are split. New file. New file. Paste that. Copy that. Audio service. Splits into parts. Okay. And we're ready to run them. PWD. Harvester. Unrecognized arguments. Oh, it doesn't like that. Okay. 3 errors. Okay. Let's go tell what the errors are. Copy. Got this. Oh. There's no source directory. It's app.py services and test. That's probably its problem. It had a little bit of an adjustment. Doesn't know where to find app in its service package. Adjust the Python path. Okay, let's do that. I prefer to do the alternative here. New file. New file. Paste that. Copy that. Save that. Okay, we got 1 error. Let's try this. Copy. The command is broken. Let's see what it has to say about that. PY test. What does it say about that? Yeah, here we go. Let's go give it the input. I got this with PY test. Now I'm sure this is probably easier to bootstrap, you know, if you know what you're doing. At least the running it piece, making that all put together. Make sure app structure defines the main function. Check for circular imports. Modify the testing. Okay. Okay, so here's a time where I might want to go up again. And we're going to just feed it the full set of things one more time. Oh, you know, sometimes these Mac keyboards just get a little in the way. Should define main. I'm telling you what's there. Verify after main function. Oh, okay. Text harvester, and then now I should be running my test from here is what it's saying. Okay. So here is what app.py looks like. Let's see what it's got to say about that. It's going to refactor to include a main method. I guess it's not too surprising, is it? Wait for it to finish emitting. I mean, the nice thing, I guess, is if I had my own tool, I wouldn't have to wait for all this, like, typewriter type output. Okay, I'm going to adjust main. Sorry, the app file. There we go. Ah, there we go. We have failing tests and passing tests. So it looks as though things are working much better. Cool. Okay. Let's run the test. Here's the PY test command. I need to make this just a little bit bigger to work with. It's kind of tiny there. Let's bring that up. Test session start. Let's tell it this is the output. I got this. So let's probably do use mock paths aren't accessible. Let's update your test audio downloader. Okay. Well, you know, it's good. It's good that they're not just passing, I guess. So what am I doing here? Not at all what I wanted. Let's try and bring that down a little bit. Productivity log. There we go. Okay, which one? Test audio download. Oh, come on. Only I could use a keyboard. And test this. All right. There we go. So I should see better results. And the test transcribe. Audio service. Mark open. And probably have to import there. Can't say this has been super successful. Not as clean and fluid. Yeah, 4 failures. No such file or directory. Test. Oh, it's not doing a great job here. I think I might need to go look for other tools. Yeah, I'm still getting crap. Oh, okay. What's it doing here? I don't know what Codium's doing. That's weird. Okay. No difference in output. Just make sure you're not going to test audio downloader. Ooh, I think in the audio downloader, I can see this is an issue. So now, like I said, I have a real kind of contrived situation, so I don't know how good the unit testing is going to be. All right, well, let's keep trying here. Let's see if we can at least get a few more of them to pass. I was really hoping this was going to be a quick hop on. Things are magic like they have been, but you know, there's bound to be some problems here. This kind of generally aligns to my experience. I have not seen the most amazing things happen here. Okay, so I got one more passing. All right. All right. I'm going to just, okay, I got one failure. For which one is it? Okay. The Google test gives we're mocking a lot of things. You know, I don't know the extent of the value here. Does it work? Do things run? You know, it's kind of all I'm really asking. Ideally, these are probably best served by some sort of integration test suite. Okay. I mean, maybe Codium would be the time to tell it I have problems. Still the same issue. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's see a little bit more comprehensiveness here. Just doing that. Run the test. Nope. OS dot remove is causing issues with file path. Oh. I just need to mock one more thing, I hope. Let's see here. I guess no guarantees, right? OS dot remove. Okay, let's mock that. This is where maybe I just need a little more chat. We'll try maybe with the next one. We'll try a little more Codium. Okay, let me just take the whole test. I might have missed something. Key. I may not have. This is definitely not my favorite part of this experience. No. Okay. I now get twice in your function. Ah, okay. So I mean, it seems to be getting there. It is a little bit back and forth, but let's see. How long has this stream been running for? Where's the time? Half an hour, and I have a little bit closer to some tests. I can't say I'd write the test any faster, quite honestly. You know, I haven't vetted the full value of them, but you know, the goal is here to just kind of experiment, write test, and see what happens. If I can get this file working, I can likely get the next one working. So let's do that. That's interesting. Insert called with once. I'm going to tell it to go back to and tell it to adjust the assert. Which assert? Just the sub-process asserts. That's all I really want. So, you know, it kind of took me in a different direction. There's a lot more back and forth on the testing than there was on just the pure code generation. Does that speak about the training data? Does it speak about my inability to prompt? Does it speak about, many things on many levels, possibly? we'll see. But there does seem to be a little value here. Like, I know that the right things are being called. Like, I know these behaviors have to be there, or quite honestly, this won't work. Like, I need the download and I need the FFmpeg conversion in order to. Okay. I now get this lovely thing. It's being called incorrectly. Yeah, I would love to be able to switch this out to maybe more programming-oriented model other than ChatGPT. I think this is one of those cases where being able to plug in a little bit more code-trained model, specifically on the testing, and maybe there's something that needs to be done there, would add more value. I think I'm talking myself into the Codex project more and more. You know, I often find that the way I write code kind of goes against maybe the way most people do. Not good or bad. I just write things differently. That's why I ended up building a lot of my own frameworks over the years and doing things like that. And this feels one of those cases where, you know, my disharmony with like a copilot type tool is really more along the lines of it doesn't fit my workflow. My workflow does seem to deviate a fair bit from kind of what that tool supports. So I think it's worth exploring that that disharmony to see if I can't just put something together. Remember, small cyclical loops. Excuse me. All right, this test's getting big. Let's bring it through. So nice if there was just an option here. Now, to Codium's defense, you can get it to like replace sections, but it's just going to plunk things in. If you ask it to like, I don't know, call is still not defined. Okay, so let's hope that this works. So up here, you know, a diff would have just brought that in. Just really want this test to work. I just want to go hurrah, huzzah. But like I said, this raw code output, ChatGPT definitely kicking butt, doing awesome. Testing, really sucks at it. Like, really sucks at it. Let's see. Oh. Okay, so I'm back to here. I'm gonna go back to here. This all worked. Okay, I'm gonna actually start a new chat because at the end of the day, I have this method that gives this error. Let's see what it can do from a fresh start. Sometimes it needs its context reset. This has been called twice. However, your test joins capture both subclass.run. I do have that off the first. Okay, let's see. Otherwise, I don't know. We may have to. No. Lister. Ah, okay. So no, lister is not happening. So we're kind of back to where we were. Doing a little human intervention here. Expected call not found. So I can get it to there. I can get it to pass at that level. So let's go check the method in question, right? Go to definition. Okay, so it goes through. We see the one command. Subprocess.run. Download the file. Oh, okay. So find the file os.listdir. Download files. And remove. So there's more I could do. I'm gonna. Oh gosh, I'm losing myself here. I'm gonna call it good at just those things because. Okay, so what happens if I just run it for all tests now? What do I get? I can still get 2 fails. Alright, so we'll bring this up. Which one's failing? Assert 3 equals 2. Okay, so I'm going to go to this. I can use my eyes to fix this right now. Audio service, right? Test split audio. Result is 3. 20 minutes, right? Mock audio segment length. Split. Oh, that's interesting. Definition. Okay, so let's go try something. I'm gonna say, given this test and function, why does it return 3? That's not 2. That's the core of the issue, right? I'm getting too many parts here. So coming back over, and as an extra part to account for it doesn't fit with this. Specifies functions. Fixing the issue. Correct. Calculate the number of parts without creating unnecessary parts. So we found kind of a bug. Okay, so this is adding value. That's pretty amazing. I didn't do anything too crazy. So here's the updated function. I did a wonderful little ditty here. Okay, so let's go in, let's paste that out, and let's see if we fix the bug. We actually found a bug. That is cool. Formatting is wrong. There we go. Things should be happier. I should probably put some linting in. All generic hygiene things, right? Okay. All right. Oh, okay. So split audio is working. It's the transcribe audio now. It's not working. Transcribe audio, assertion, magic mock image, create equals transcribe audio. I now get, okay, I was about to write this off as a failed experiment, but getting the value here definitely turned out to be better. To my instance, okay. Well, let's see if this works. I'm happy with the value from an hour of this. Just an effect, it did pick up a funny little edge case bug problem. Oh, I did all of them. Oh, okay. Which one's not working still? Transcribe audio. Go to definition. Let's plug that in. Here is the method being tested. Kind of like extends signals call transcribe audio. Update test code. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we got. Ta-da! Huzzah! Awesome. So we were able to successfully use ChatGPT in this case, my little Codex beginning script, to kind of smash things together and feed it through, which is awesome. That was really useful. Picked up a bug along the way, which is just, highlights the value of this. In an hour, I managed to get 6 tests of some variety, unit tests of some variety down, and get things working 100%. I'm pretty happy with that. Cool. Well, folks, that's the end. I hope you found it useful and insightful. And